Within the walls of Christian Fellowship Church, joyful noises. But also, from Pastor Richie Clendennen, words of prophecy come to pass.
And the Bible says, in this life you will have troubles. You will have persecutions. Let me tell you, that time is here. There's nobody hated more in this nation than Christians. Welcome to America's Most Wanted. You.
Paranoia? Not necessarily.
I think there's no question that evangelicals think that in one way they've kind of lost their home field advantage.
Ed Stetzer is Director of Research at LIFEWAY Christian Resources in Nashville. A recent LIFEWAY survey found that 2/3 of Americans believe Christians face increasing intolerance.
That's not a fringe belief. That's the majority American belief.
I believe that the voice of Christians is trying to be silenced.
Marshall County is like a lot of rural America. It's a place where faith and politics are closely intertwined. Despite this feeling of losing ground, evangelicals are still an important voting bloc.
We are going to protect Christianity, and if you look what's going on throughout the world.
19-year-old Faith Haley feels some have used religion as a political weapon.
I've seen a lot of hate and a lot of anger, and that is really upsetting, especially when it's done in the name of God.
The same LIFEWAY survey also found nearly half of Americans feel Christians complain too much about how they're treated. Haley gets that, to some extent.
You hear a lot more about people being offended by Christians rather than for Christians.
Clendennen can foresee a time in the not-too-distant future when churches might lose their tax-exempt status, or when speaking out against homosexuality might be considered a hate crime.
A lot of the issues that we're coming up against brings us to this cliff, and we're right on the edge of it.
Not surprisingly, there's disagreement among evangelicals themselves, particularly when it comes to the issue of LGBT rights and protections.
Oh my God, true evangelicalism starts with how you treat the poor, people who are different, and people who are on the margin.
Christian Fellowship member Daniel SLAYDEN has no problem serving same-sex couples in his restaurant, but he says some seem to think that's not enough.
I'm not going to judge them. That's God's job, you know. The thing that concerns me is when the law tries to get to the point to where it forces me to acknowledge their actions as truth.
Parishioner Adam Dunn says evangelicals have brought a lot of this on themselves.
We've really ruined the love of Jesus in North America, it seems like.
His pastor agrees. The son and grandson of preachers, Clendennen says too many Christians have earned the labels of intolerant and self-righteous.
People are not our enemies. Our enemy is Satan.
Pastor Richie tells his flock that the culture is shifting. The question to them is,
what will you do with your light in spite of it? Hide it under a bushel? No.
Clendennen knows what he's going to do.
I'm gonna let it shine.
Alan Breed, Associated Press, Benton, Kentucky.